Crew builders, welcome back to the workbench. We're building the Metal Earth, Mars Rover, Perseverance, and Ingenuity helicopter. And right now we're going to be looking at parts 28 through 55. Let's go ahead and get started with part 28 here. Now the first thing we're going to be doing is taking this piece and kind of bending it into a giant cylinder. So we're going to need some of our bending tools to help us out here. But what I'm going to do is grab my mandrel here, it's a big one, and I'm going to use the bottom of this to try to help me. Now, one thing I am going to do though is make sure that I'm bending this the right way. I notoriously bend these the wrong way. So let's see here. Let's orientate this to the instructions just like so. And then what we're going to do is just again go right to the bottom of this mandrel here and bring it all the way around town. All the way around town. There we go. And now we're going to move it around here. Move it up one more time. And then we're going to flip the piece around. We're going to kind of do the same thing, starting with the bigger one and then working our way down to the proper size. Again, we're rolling this piece in our fingers and we're trying to bend every piece of metal. You're going to notice those little tabs on the end get a little bit bent, but that's okay. You can kind of see a teardrop forming there. Remember what we talked about in other videos is that we want to avoid that teardrop shaping. And how we're going to do that is we're going to take our tweezers here and we're going to bend this just ever so slightly like that. Just like that. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to get ready to put all of our little pieces on. We're not going to secure this just yet, but the reason why we didn't put all of our pieces in here first was because if you try to do that right now, it's actually really complicated to bend the shape you need at the very end. So we're going to go ahead and do it this way. It's a little bit of experience there. We're going to just bend this guy in half, and we'll go ahead and just do all these ones here too. Now, I did say I was going to try to do all the repeat detail, but I lied. I guess in this particular case, I forgot that these are all just repeat bends. Very simple to bend these guys, right? Very, very simple. Just bending them in half. Last one, boom. Now we're gonna bring it down here. Let's start on this edge right here. Okay. So these ones actually can be pushed together pretty well, and you'll get them in almost right away. That's pretty good. Now we want to hold these as straight as possible as we're securing them. There we go. I don't think there's a right or wrong way to put this on, but man, talk about repeat detail installation here. You might have to move these around a little bit, like I'm doing like this. Just kind of doing a little shuffle wuffle, and that should get the tabs down a little bit more. I'm surprised they're actually not going down more. I'm having to really press them in, like really press them in, which is kind of silly. Okay, there we go. We got our second piece on there. Now we're going to go ahead and put all the rest on. This is going to take some time, so let's go ahead and fast forward to where I already have these all attached. Okay, I think that looks pretty good, I do believe. I think that I might have to do some reshaping a little bit, especially around the lips here, but we'll see in just a few moments, won't we? yeah, let's go ahead and just connect these guys up because we're ready to do that. So what I'm going to do is bend these tabs down on either side, and I'm going to match them up. And now we're going to bring these guys in, marry these little tabs up. I said marry. Marry. There we go. Okay. I wanted to curl that one. I was doing it outside of camera, which is not the greatest thing. I know I should be probably showing you what I'm doing. What I really want to do though is I want to almost have these kind of meet themselves. So what I just did there was close the tab. I'm doing it that way because it makes it, you can see it's a really good connection there, right? It's kind of hard to show you that without screwing up the technique though. So I'm going to try here. Okay, if I put the pressure there, maybe I can show you what I'm doing. What happened there? I'm confused. Ah, okay, I see what's happening. The one tab is getting in the way of the other one. Ha ha ha. Well then, didn't we just find something? Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend you over here. I want a better connection with this tab. So that's something to know when attaching this piece, is you do have to be careful of the inside tabs getting in the way of either side here when you're connecting. That is a really big gap and I don't like it. And it's because that one tab has a space in it from when it got misformed, which kind of sucks, but maybe we won't see it. We'll see here. I think this is going to be the bottom, so we'll see. All right, now that we have this done, let's go ahead and move on to the next part here, which is just some triangles that we need to form. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at these little parts right here that we have to bend. There's one side that's engraved, which is this piece right here, and then one side that's not engraved. So we're going to bend this part right here up like that. And then we're going to go to the other side, do the same thing, bend it up. Be very careful here. It's actually extremely easy to warp this little triangle. If you need to, you can actually use either a bender tool or you can also use 2 sets of tweezers. That can be very helpful, especially when you're dealing with very fragile pieces. There we go. Okay. There we go. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Same thing. You know what I need to do? Let's do that. And then bring it back like this. And there we go. Just wanted to clean up that front a little bit there. I think I accidentally squished this detail a little bit too much. We'll see though once we put everything into place. Now, one of these pieces goes on top and the other one goes on the bottom. The one with the 3 prongs here is going to hopefully go here on top. And we're going to secure these guys. Now remember, when we're securing these tabs, it's very important to make sure we're alternating. So if we're going to turn one left, we're going to turn the other one right. But we're going to do the alternates on either side. The center one doesn't really matter as much. Cool. Alrighty. Now that we've placed that into place, I think we can move on, my friends, to the next stage, which has us putting a little cap here, which I think is kind of interesting that they chose to do this after and not before, because, you know, putting details sometimes inside of a place like this can be a little bit hard. What I'm doing right now is I'm prepping this little area here with some back and forth. I do have a little bit of an odd shape going here, but if I just press a little bit, yeah, there we go. Kind of helps a little bit. Now we're going to take this and we're going to try to get one side first. There we go. Then we're going to come over here to the other side, and we're not going to press down too hard. What we're doing is just trying to line it up like that. Oh, the other one came out. Of course it did. Let's bring this here, holding down the other side. Okay. We're gonna grab the tab. You're going in there whether you like it or not. There's no option. Like, just be very clear here. Okay. Bend you down and bend you down. Flat, flat. There we go, my friends. We put that little bit in there. Now we need to move on to the next piece here, which is part 33. Part 33 goes on the back end, but this one's a little bit different. If you take a look at this right here, you'll notice that there is a cut, and that cut is there because we're going to be making a little bit of a triangle, or what's the word I'm looking for? We're making a cone. We're making a cone. Oh, I'm sorry, Lykaloo. Am I boring you? Okay. Just going around here, making sure that I bend every piece. Cool. All right. Same thing. One down there. Come to the other side here. All I'm doing is bang that tab into place. Okay, now we're going to take this and I'm going to bend them this way because the black and the white always looks weird, and at least for right now, I might bend them back later. We'll see. I'm going to go around here and just kind of correct my shaping. I actually should have done that before I place that on there. My mistake. All right, we'll bend them back the other way because it doesn't work. It's gonna kill me. It doesn't look right, and yeah, the symmetry was off. That's the words I was trying to get out. All right, GD1's gonna yell at me too later if that's not perfect. Okay, so now that we got this little booster kind of thing done here, we can move on to this little back here. Now you will notice that one here says the engraved side and the other here is the non-engraved side. What we're going to do is take that detail that we just formed and we're going to place it into place here. Detail in the back. It goes like this. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay. Yeah. Oh, cool. Okay, now what do we need to do with this? We need to secure this with twists. So again, following our principles before. We're going to turn this one. You know what? Let's do it like this instead. Okay. Left. Again, be careful because it's very easy to break these tabs. Right. Left. Right. Cool. Nice and secure. Very stable. No wibbly wobbly. We're good. All right. Now we need to move on to the next phase, which is actually placing on some of the assemblies that we did in our last video. This one here is going to go on the bottom. And it also goes a little bit in the center here. So what I think it's actually best to do is try to get the center ones. I'm going to get the edges, I guess, lined up first, and then I can guide the last one in here with my detail tweezers. Okay, I think it's actually easier if I just go ahead and just do. Pop the tab, put the tab in the hole. Why aren't you going in the hole? Shoot the, come on now. Put that in there, don't want copyright strikes. Oh. You know what I did wrong here, Groovers? Look, you see, I'm having a trouble getting the tabs in there, right? And that's because this little centerpiece here wasn't bent down. Huh. I'm a silly little man there. Let me just fix that up. And now everything lines up. Go watch this. Ready? See? This will work way better now. They're like, we didn't see anything. You lie like the rug. I'm just kidding. It actually goes like this. We push this down right into there. There we go. Awesome. And whoopah. There we go. Let's just secure all these in. And we actually already secured the bottom. We should really secure that top piece. But, you know me. I like to live dangerously. Cool. We have confirmed that that is a proper connection, and we're not ready for liftoff, but we are getting there, that's for sure. Okay, now what we need to do is go ahead and put the other pieces on that we've done from before. These ones will be interesting because depending on how well we shaped these from last time will be how easy they go into place. Okay. I think I've done pretty good so far, to be honest with you guys. Not to, not to say that I'm amazing or anything, but for a time-traveling model maker, I think I did pretty good. Speaking of which, we're getting pretty close to that 5,000 subscriber mark. Guys, if you haven't hit subscribe yet, you definitely should. We got all kinds of cool projects coming out in the future. And now that I got some new equipment, we're definitely going to be putting out some interesting content in the future. And I really can't wait to show that off with you guys. I got all kinds of cool, like, shorts and things I got planned. I'm hoping to do some stuff that I've been wanting to do for a while that I haven't really had a chance to do. So all of that's coming, and I'm really excited to kind of like show that with you guys. Anyway, back to her. Let's take this like this. Like, I've had 3D printed files that I have had ready to go, all measured out. I've actually done like rough copies and everything. And not just, I have some simple stuff too. Like, I got stuff for the hydrovac industry as well. And just like, I just need to sit down and just make the content, and there's a battle going on. There's a war going on, my friends. And I I can't talk much about it because if I acknowledge it, it gets worse. So I gotta be careful. But I warn you, there is something going on, and I think I'm almost to the bottom of it. And once I get it, we're gonna expose it. But don't say anything to GB1. Don't say anything to Timothy or any of the other people on the team. I don't need them snooping around too much. I know that GB1 doesn't really watch these replays. Cool. That's in there now. Secure that with a little bit of a go. Secure that with a little bit of a go. Yeah, there we go. That's looking pretty cool. I noticed though that the back details here on either side aren't formed yet either. I think in the last video I was waiting for that to kind of be signaled, and I don't think I ever saw it where it was. So we're going to go ahead and just do that now. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to use my more pungent, or I should say my more smaller, more defined detailed tweezers. I think these are number 17s, they are. And these 17s are really good for getting smaller detail. I just wanted to start that bend and use my more firmer ones. These are 13s to help me get the right shape. And again, when it comes to the weird details, it's sometimes better to use these guys. So going right to that line, and I'm bending that like that. Wanting support. Now I'm going to take these guys. Again, we're kind of correcting a mistake here, just for the record. So I don't anticipate you having to do this, because you probably caught this if you were watching the last video, but I didn't. So I'm just correcting it now. Now, the proper way of fixing this would actually, I should have formed these tails a little bit before. I'll do it on the other side. I'll show you what I mean. Let's do one of these. Okay. That one's nice and straight. This one we got to work on a little bit. There we go. Oh, too much pressure. I got a little, actually, you know what? Not bad. Not bad at all. That's actually not bad at all. Okay, now back to here. So now that I got that, I'm gonna do this. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make some bends. Like that. That's pretty cool. Okay, there we go. And now there we go. Just kind of pushing that small bit of detail in here. You know what's kind of funny sometimes, guys, is I get little songs stuck in my head, and I've realized that when I'm editing, I'm whispering them in my head as I'm building, and I have to take them out. And one day we'll do karaokeing with Cone, but for right now, we're not doing karaokeing with Cone. We're doing building with Cone, disorderly Cone. So let's go ahead and put this down now that we got this nice big assembly all finished. That looks really good. We need to move on to part 35 and 36. Now, part 35 and 36 are actually pretty easy to think about doing. All we're going to be doing is taking these guys right here and making a cylinder. Let's take our mandrel, because these guys are a little bit easier to deal with. My smaller mandrel has actually disappeared on me. I'm not too sure where it went to, which stinks, but that's okay because we do have multiple tools here to help us get the proper shape that we need. I think this one here will do well. Let's do this. Cool, just like that. And now that we have that finished, we can come back over to here, grab this guy. Place her on there. Oh, we want to make sure actually the other way here. There we go. Cool. That looks really, really awesome. Now we need to move on to another little band here. This band is, oops, this guy, 37, is a lot bigger than the previous ones we've done. So we're going to go back here to the bigger mandrel, work our way down. Again, making sure that we're bending every single part of our metal. And then once we get down to this little stage right here, we can do a little bit of a maneuver work. Do one of these. 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 Work it back and forth. And, oh, overshot. Hold that right there. That looks really good, I think. That looks really good. Okay, now that we got that, though, let's go ahead and just make our gloves a little tighter. And what we're going to do now is just place this on top. So I'm going to keep with the theme. There we go. And I turn you like these. And then we turn that one. And lastly, that one. Okay, good. We got that in place now. Looking pretty good. And now we get to a confusing piece. This one has a lot of little bends and weirdness in it. We've definitely encountered this guy or something similar like it to it before. Let's go ahead and work on it by looking on the back. Now, the first thing we see is we need to bend this in half. So let's bend this in half. There we go. Takes away some of the intimidation. And now what we need to do is form the box. I messed up. You're supposed to follow the details. That's okay, because we can fix it. Like that. Cool. Okay, that looks about what we want. Let's go ahead and move on to the next piece here, which is this guy. And we're going to be putting, placing this. We want the little, we want basically this guy to go right here. I'm just trying to make sure I get in the right location. Yeah, it goes like that. Okay. Getting these in there will be interesting. Whoopsie. Okay. Very good. And we're just going to secure these guys right here. Cool. All right. That looks pretty good. Now we need to move on to the next part, which is adding some more detail on. This is a nice little bit of detail. It is definitely the start of our panels, or at least a part of our solar panel. I should say a part of a solar panel of the Rover. Go ahead and put this right here. For the main video, I'm going to see if I can reach out to somebody and get some information to see how well this this rover was actually interpreted. I think that Metal Earth probably did a really good job. Their modelers are really, really good at what they do, and I mean, I think we can all agree on that. Okay, I'm gonna take this right here. I'm gonna try to bend her flat. Same thing here. And now their modelers are all shaking in their boots, going, you know, he put us on blast like this. I hope we got this one right, guys. Just kidding. Okay, cool. That now, we did a twist and we also made them flat, right? Because we're trying to make them secure. You see it's not wibbling or wobbling because we did the whole twist and secure. Now we're gonna take this little piece here, same thing. We're gonna bend these guys down. We're gonna match all of the walls and we're gonna place this on top. There we go. That looks pretty good too. Now what we need to do is what, did I do something wrong here? Did I do something wrong? I feel like I did something wrong. Oh, I did. I'm a silly goose. I needed to add these two pieces together. Why didn't any of you tell me these things? Oh well, no worries. We will get that done now. We just need to figure out exactly which way this part goes this way. So the solar panel goes like this. Okay. Boom. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. So let's take that. We'll turn that one. We'll bend that one flat. This one, if we can bend you flat, that would be cool. Cool, we can. Okay, and you. There we go. Awesome. See, we didn't make a mistake. Silly goose. You saw nothing. All right. Now that we got this guy here done, we can move on to the next piece, which is actually part 42. This thing looks really weird, doesn't it? I don't know if that's a piece we need to take off. I'm going to leave it there right now, though. I think it might be actually part of this piece. It does look like it, at least from the instructions. So anyway, making sure that's the engraved side, we're going to grab our little band here that we have to make, and we're going to go over to here and we're going to bend it. Did I bend that the right way, guys? Did I bend that the right way? I did. Okay, cool. Bending it like this, moving it up to the next one, and then finally the one that's going to be actually on. And again, we're over bending it a little bit just because we don't want that teardrop. Now that we got that, let's go ahead and place this on. I would like to see if I can somehow hide any of that. Now before we secure this, I want to make sure that the tabs are in the right spot here. No, they're not. Okay. And this, whoops, I'm a butterfinger right now. And this is why we look at things. Okay, take this and we're gonna flip it around to the left side. Flip side, did that really matter actually? I think it does. Okay, so wait a second. If this is the way, we're gonna orientate it like this. The guys go on that side. Yeah, all right. So it's the opposite end of the other point. Okay. Now that we're all on the same page, I feel better. But I'll feel even better once all these tabs are in their places. Ah, yes, there we go. Take this, push it down. Boom. Cool. Looking great, looking great. Now we can take this little guy here, flip her over to the back, and we're gonna grab this little bizarre looking dude. And we're gonna shape him first before we put them together. I'm gonna bend this down, and then what I'm going to do is actually come down here first and see how much bending I need to do to get that to go. Does this need to be concave too? I think it does. So if that's the case, let's take a little bit of my friend here. This is my fondant tool, and I'll apply a little bit of roly-poly action. Cool. Actually, I'll even use my other one, make it even more so. Cool. Now that we got that, we can bring these guys in together. I could have actually used my other tool and shown you guys how to do that, but I want to show you how to form some of this detail because I realize that not everybody has the tools that I have, which it's kind of a double-edged sword, to be honest with you, because I bought the tools to make my life a lot easier to build these models. But at the same time, a lot of people that are getting into this hobby don't have access to these tools. So my videos then kind of become less useful just know that there's multiple tools out there on the market that you can pretty much use. And there's also a lot of things around your house, believe it or not, that you might not even realize are going to be really, really good for shaping and forming these different things. Let me just take this right here. There we go. Excellent. Take this. Oops, I don't want to bend that too much. See, I shouldn't have bent that yet. I made a mistake. There we go. Now we're going to bring this down. What you got to be careful of, though, is when you're doing the detail like this, you kind of have to be careful of that etched detail. And the reason why is because that etched detail actually makes getting all of these pieces in the right spot a lot harder. Just because it's a weak part in the metal. So again, double-edged sword. It looks cool, yes, but also harder to build with. I mean, it's not super difficult or anything, but it does add a complication to the build that you might not realize is there. Okay. Let me see here. I'm gonna take this guy here, and I'm just gonna try to get some more definition in here, or at least try to like round out my definition. Now again, if you don't have these tools, you can just go over it with your tweezers and that will really help, but I really want a nice look here, so I'm gonna use my forming tools. There we go. We got that nice little piece. And now that we have this little piece, we actually need to add on that little detail that we just made a couple moments ago. And those two little guys go right there. Like that. Awesome. Let's take these guys and just secure them down. There we go. Great. Looking good. Looking good. Yeah, that's actually, that's perfect. It's exactly where we want it to be, which I know it sounds silly, but sometimes, you know, we get a little confused. Anyway, moving right along, let's take this little guy here, and we're going to be forming this one a little bit differently. We're going to be taking these two little pieces here. This is part 46, and we're going to be creating a little bit of a circular shape. Let me go ahead and do that by, you know what, let's start bigger here. Okay. Do one of these. Do one of these. There we go. Again, just make sure she's nice and flat. Flip to the other side. Grab this dude. And put that dude in that dude. No. Put this dude like this. Actually, other way. I'm being silly. Like this. There we go. Okay, cool. Now we got that little bit of detail done there. What I'm gonna do is try my best to match that up, because again, I'm a big fan of things looking right, and I like them to kind of vibe there. That looks pretty good though. I think we did exactly what we needed to do. Let's go ahead and place that. Actually, you know what? We need to add one little more bit to it. I forgot about this little guy here. This is going to go on like this. Yeah. There we go. And these guys are secured with a little push down. I did do a little twist on that. That's just because I'm being a little silly. I really don't know where these are going to be going just yet, so I think that there's going to be some detail going over top of it, judging by these two little, or actually these three little spots. So we're going to keep that open. Now we're going to leave this right here, and we're going to put that on to the side. We're moving on to part 49. That's this guy right here. And we're going to make sure that these tabs here are on the top, and we're going to go here and bend these around just like these. Nice. Something a little smaller. And finally, let's go even to the proper size here. And just make sure that we're not going to get any hot spots when we're doing this. I think I may have just actually caused one by accident. For those who don't know what a hot spot is, that's where you have a detail in the metal, or there's a piece in the metal where you get a nice crease. And creasing is what I call hot spotting. Maybe I should just call it creasing, but a hot spot develops when you move a piece too much and the metal gets warm and it warps. Essentially why I call it a hot spot. Anyway, now that we got this little tubey thingy here, what we need to do is get the little bit of detail, which is this guy. I actually shouldn't have bent that as much as I did. I should have waited. Take this, and then we're going to take that. Okay. Cool. And then trying to get that little last tab there. See, this is why you don't want to necessarily close this, because if I open this up, we can get in here and we can really secure this better. Okay, there we go. And now we're just going to push that closed. Now I think we're okay to close this. And now that we have this closed, we can move on to the next little bit here, which is this guy. This is a really interesting little piece. We're just going to be taking these little details here. Where's my smaller tweezer set? And we are going to bend them down into a kind of a giant rectangle, except, yeah, these guys go here like that. Okay, take this. All right. I'm still Mr. Butterfingers here throughout this build today. Bend that little bit of detail on top. Now again, we could have gone through that with our little details here, and I'm going to do that now, and that would have made it a lot better. It would have made a little bit of a less of a gap there on top, but it's overall not bad actually. There we go. Cool. All right. Now that we got this little dude all done up, we need to actually place this onto here again. Like I said, I'm kind of silly. I keep closing this when really I should keep it open. All right. There's that little bit of detail secured. Now we need to go into this little dude here. This is actually pretty easy to do. We're just going to take this and go like that all the way around. And like we should have done before, we're actually going to take these guys and we're going to bend them. Bend them. Just like that. Cool. And now we're going to attach them here. Cool. All right. And there we go. That's really neat. That is really neat. Okay. Now I'm going to take this guy here and kind of just bend her down a little bit, because it looks like they do that in the drawing there. So that is like that. And now that we have this little piece here all finished up, we actually need to add on a little bit more, which is this guy, part 53. Let's take 53. Bending her by those little bend lines there. Great thing about this one, actually, there's not really much of a shaping here to do. There's a little bit of a bend, but not much of one. You're more or less just kind of trying to match the border with this piece right here. The hardest part being this little circle in the center of this piece. That's the hardest part to kind of try to get correct. Cool. Very neat. And now that we got this little guy here, actually, what we're going to do is, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and attach this little dude to this guy. Like that, yeah. There we go. And now that we got this little piece here, what we're gonna do is grab that one from earlier, this guy right here, and we're gonna place it into place. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, push this guy down. Why are you being like this? Okay, I see why. This little tab here is getting in the way of a good securement. Bend that out of the way. And now you have no excuse. Now these ones are done with a twist. I'm actually having a little bit of a hard time getting my tab bending tool over some of these tabs. I've noticed that maybe the paint is a little bit thick on this build. Not as thick as any of the other ones we've seen, like in terms of like some of the other brands that are out there, the ones that have like, you know, the plastic coating almost on them that snap every single time you do it. I'm not bad mouthing those. I'm just saying that to say that this is anywhere near that kind of quality would be an insult. So I want to be very clear in saying that this one is significantly better, although the paint is still a little bit thick sometimes. So when it comes to placing your details together like we're having right now, of course, the one time I need to actually close the cylinder, my friends, I haven't done it. It can be a little bit misleading. Let me see here. Because the paint, you would think, especially on these builds, would be designed in a way that the tolerances would be there, but sometimes they're not. Yeah, we're gonna twist these guys. All right, and finally, we're on to piece 55, the last one in our build for today. Let's go ahead and just take this right here, bend it around, take it around here, take it around here. Again, making sure we're really pressing that end piece there, and then we can actually bring them past each other a little bit, and that'll make a really good, like, see how it almost wants to stay together, and you don't have really that egg shape. It's a little bit of an egg shape, but not much of one. You can correct it and you almost have a perfect cylinder. What we're going to do with this perfect cylinder is, or perfect-ish cylinder, we're going to go ahead and just place that onto here. But we're making sure that the 4 tabs, of course, are on the bottom. But being that there's only 3, we need to reference this. So it looks like the 3 go towards the 2 pieces of detail that we have sticking out. I'll show you what I mean here for reference in a second. Let me just get those little pieces in there. Okay, see how there's 3 tabs here? We have the outside detail and the outside detail. Mr. Shaky Detail, not good. But anyway, there we go. And now that we got those tabs in place, we're going to secure these guys with a nice little twist, I believe. Let me make sure of that. Yeah, it's a twist. So twisty, twisty. Boom. See how it's sticking? That's what I mean by tolerances. Or, sorry. Never mind. Okay, this one, I'm going to bend in. There we go. Looks like I could actually have hidden all these tabs by just banging them in like that. But again, I'm trying to follow the instructions because I think that's best for everybody. All right, everyone, there we go. We have completed our little build for today. I think we did a pretty good job. I was trying to clean up that little gap there, and I can do that just by that. See? Looks really good. I think we did a really fantastic job with all of our little assemblies, and our rover is definitely coming along. If you enjoyed this little build along, do me a favor, hit that like button, and if you want to see some more, hit subscribe as well, as we got all kinds of really cool stuff coming out in the future, including the conclusion to this build. Until next time, Groovers, keep building.